Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video isn't about gossip or exaggerated drama, it's about something far more rare and meaningful: genuine friendship, sincere support, and how small, quiet moments can often speak louder than any public appearance or red carpet photo. Our story today centers around two of the most beloved figures in Turkish entertainment, Elçin Sengu and Barış Arduç. If you're a fan of Turkish dramas, you already know their names. Their chemistry in Karalık Aşk was unforgettable. But what many people don't know is that their real-life connection has always been just as meaningful, even if it's often kept away from the spotlight. A quiet crisis. A few months ago, Barış Arduç came down with a rather aggressive flu. While it wasn't serious enough to be life-threatening, it hit hard enough to force him to cancel engagements and rest, something that's rare for actors with such demanding schedules. During this time, something truly heartwarming happened. Elçin Sengu, upon hearing that Barış was unwell, didn't hesitate. She didn't wait for the cameras or for someone else to make the first move. She simply showed up. And that moment, quiet, unannounced, reminded fans of why their bond has always felt so authentic. Beyond public image, true presence. Elçin didn't make a show of her support. There were no Instagram stories, no carefully curated selfies at his bedside. Instead, she chose to offer what many forget in a world full of filters and captions: real presence. She stayed by his side. She helped with his meals. She reminded him to stay hydrated. She encouraged rest. She even helped shift his mood when the days felt long and heavy. What's more touching? Elçin began researching the illness herself. Not because she had to, but because she wanted to. She read articles, looked up symptoms, natural remedies, and ways to make recovery smoother. She took notes. She asked questions. And she shared what she learned with Barış, hoping to help him feel a little more in control of something that made him feel weak. The healing power of loyalty. Those close to them say that Elçin visited almost daily, juggling her own commitments just to be near someone she clearly cares about. Even on the days when Barış was too tired to talk, she stayed. Sometimes just sitting quietly, other times reading to him or sharing light conversation to lift his spirits. And it wasn't just about the illness. It was about being there, fully, sincerely, and without asking for anything in return. It was a reminder that support isn't about the grand gestures. Often, it's about the smallest ones: pouring a glass of tea, checking someone's temperature, or making sure they know they're not alone. Fans react with emotion. When the story broke, fans were quick to respond, not with gossip or speculation, but with gratitude and admiration. Elçin didn't just play a caring character on screen. She is one. This is the kind of connection you can't fake. She didn't have to do any of it. And that's exactly why it matters. Hashtags like #ElçinSupportsBarış and #RealFriendship trended across platforms. Fan pages shared throwbacks from their Karalık Aşk days, now paired with messages about how the two still look out for one another. No publicity, no pretending. What struck many people most was how low-key the entire gesture was. Elçin didn't use the moment to draw attention to herself. She didn't try to frame it as, "Look what I'm doing." In fact, if it hadn't been for a few quiet whispers in the industry, the public may never have known at all. And maybe that's what makes it even more meaningful. Because when you do something from the heart, not for cameras, not for comments, not for applause, that's when it's truly felt. A history of unshakable respect. This isn't the first time Elçin and Barış have stood by each other. Over the years, despite working on separate projects and going in different directions professionally, their mutual respect has never faded. They've spoken highly of one another in interviews. They've smiled supportively at each other's successes. And even when fan expectations added pressure to their friendship, they stayed true to what they had. For some, it's friendship. For others, it's more. But for all of us watching, it's inspiring. A love beyond labels? Of course, fans will always wonder, is this just friendship? Or something deeper? Neither Elçin nor Barış has ever publicly labeled their bond. And maybe they don't need to. Because whatever it is, it's real. It's present. And it's full of warmth. And maybe that's what people crave most in a world full of shallow connections, something that feels solid, even if it's quiet. A look toward the future. With Baris now fully recovered and back at work, and Elson continuing to shine in her own right, fans are once again hopeful. Hopeful for another on-screen reunion. Hopeful for more glimpses into their off-screen connection. Hopeful for more reminders that kindness isn't dead, it's just not always loud. The takeaway. In a time where relationships often feel performative, and where many people confuse visibility with value, Elson's support reminds us of a deeper truth. Showing up matters. Staying matters. Caring in silence can be louder than any headline. Final thoughts. We talk a lot about love stories, plot twists, and dramatic reveals in celebrity culture. But maybe what we need more of are stories like this, stories that remind us that some people still believe in showing up for each other without needing to announce it. Elson Sanga didn't need to be asked. She didn't need a reason. She just went, because he mattered. And that, more than any scripted romance, is what makes her stand out, not just as an actress, but as a human being. Thanks for joining me on this story. If it touched you the way it touched so many fans, leave a like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Would you want to see Elson and Baris together on screen again? Or maybe, something more? Until next time, stay warm, stay real, and keep believing in the power of genuine connection.